Level 1. The Rookie. The radio explodes at 1:16 a.m. Officer needs backup. Shots fired. Your pulse spikes instantly. Rain smears across the windshield while your patrol car flies through empty intersections under flashing red and blue lights. Your academy badge still feels new on your chest. 3 weeks ago, you practiced traffic stops in a parking lot. Tonight, somebody is bleeding. Your training officer sits beside you, calm enough to look bored. One hand rests near his holster. You hesitate, he says quietly. You get buried. The apartment hallway smells like mold, cigarettes, and gunpowder. You climb the stairs behind veteran officers with your flashlight shaking slightly in your hand. Families watch silently through cracked doors. Then you see the blood, fresh, running down chipped concrete beneath flickering lights. That image stays with you long after sunrise. At this level, everybody outranks you. Sergeants, dispatchers, veteran patrol officers. You survive by listening more than speaking. Nobody respects rookies immediately. Respect comes from reliability, showing up early, writing clean reports, keeping fear invisible. The badge starts changing you quietly. You scan hands before faces now. Notice exits automatically. Sleep lighter. The city stops feeling like home. It starts feeling like territory. Level 2. The patrol officer. 2 years later, the streets recognize you. Store clerks nod differently. Gang members remember your cruiser number. You know which apartment complexes hide narcotics crews and which bars guarantee fights every Friday night. The job becomes routine. That's the dangerous part. At 2:11 a.m., you pull over a stolen Honda with expired plates. The driver reaches suddenly beneath the seat. You draw your weapon before thinking. Time slows. Turns out he's reaching for a phone charger, but your finger already tightens near the trigger. Afterward, you sit alone inside the patrol car, staring at your shaking hand. You realize how thin the line really is. One bad decision, one nervous movement, one funeral. Older officers teach you the hidden rule of patrol. Never look uncertain. Criminals smell hesitation instantly, so you harden your voice, your posture, your reactions. Slowly, empathy becomes tactical instead of emotional. That transformation scares you at first. Then it becomes useful. Level 3. The detective. Detectives stop chasing calls. Now you chase leverage. You wear plain clothes, carry homicide photos in manila folders, and spend 14 hours inside interrogation rooms smelling stale coffee and sweat. A triple homicide case consumes your life for 5 months. 3 victims. No witnesses willing to talk. Gang retaliation everywhere. You learn silence pressures people more than threats do. One suspect finally cracks after 11 straight hours under fluorescent lights. He gives you names, stash houses, timelines. Enough for raids across 3 neighborhoods before dawn. The department praises your work publicly. But privately, you understand the truth. The suspect talks because he fears prison less than the people outside it. That realization changes something inside you. Information becomes the real currency now. Not violence, not bravery. Information. You stop trusting people completely. Everyone hides motives eventually. Level 4. The sergeant. Promotion comes with stripes and insomnia. Now younger officers study your reactions constantly. Panic spreads downward fast inside law enforcement, so you never appear rattled. Even when you are. You supervise midnight patrol shifts across the East District. Carjackings, domestic violence calls, overdoses. One rookie freezes during an armed robbery response and nearly gets his partner killed. Afterward, he sits in your office, unable to stop apologizing. You recognize the fear instantly, because you remember being him. But sympathy alone doesn't keep officers alive, so you tell him the truth. Nobody cares how scared you are. They care if you perform. His face changes after that conversation. Harder, colder. Exactly like yours did years earlier. The department rewards emotional control more than emotional health. That's another hidden rule. Level 5. The lieutenant. Your job becomes political now. Press conferences, budget meetings, crime statistics. You spend more time around city officials than street cops. The mayor demands lower violent crime numbers before re-election season. Your captain pressures everyone beneath him aggressively. Arrest quotas quietly appear without being called quotas. Numbers matter more than nuance. One narcotics officer gets accused of excessive force after body cam footage leaks online. You watch the footage 3 times. The officer clearly goes too far, but the department cannot afford another scandal. So the official statement calls the force within procedural standards pending review. You deliver that sentence calmly behind cameras. Reporters write it down. The public argues online for 48 hours. Then the city moves on. But you don't. You understand now that institutions protect themselves first. Always. Level 6. The commander. Your office sits behind reinforced glass on the 7th floor. Command staff only. Restricted access. You oversee gang enforcement units, tactical response teams, and intelligence operations across the city. Federal agents brief you privately now. Human trafficking networks, cartel-linked money routes, corrupt port officials under investigation. You realize how fragile order actually is. Most civilians think society functions naturally. It doesn't. It functions because exhausted people behind closed doors keep chaos contained daily. You become one of those people. The pressure isolates you completely. Friends stop calling because your schedule never opens. Family dinners disappear into canceled meetings and emergency briefings. One commander gets arrested for taking bribes connected to illegal gambling operations. You work beside him for 9 years. Good reputation, decorated career. Then divorce, debt, and ambition slowly wore him down. You stare at his empty office afterward, realizing corruption rarely arrives dramatically. It arrives one compromise at a time. Level 7. The chief. The city belongs to you publicly now. Every officer-involved shooting becomes your press conference. Every riot becomes your responsibility. Every political failure lands at your doorstep eventually. You wear tailored suits more than uniforms. The badge becomes symbolic at this level. Power lives inside influence. You negotiate with politicians, union leaders, federal agencies, and media executives constantly. Everyone wants something. Protection, funding, control. One summer night, protests erupt downtown after controversial body cam footage spreads online. Crowds flood intersections, buildings burn, officers wait in riot gear for your order. Use force too early, and the city explodes. Wait too long and officers get overwhelmed. Hundreds of lives balance on your decision. You authorize tactical deployment at 11:42 p.m. The helicopters arrive first, then armored vehicles, then tear gas drifting between skyscrapers. By sunrise, order returns. Technically. But standing inside the command center afterward, watching exhausted officers remove helmets under fluorescent lights, you understand something clearly. Control is temporary. Always temporary. Level 8. The commissioner. The office stays quiet now. Too quiet. Rain taps softly against reinforced windows overlooking the city skyline, while encrypted reports pile across your desk. 30 years inside the system. Murders, promotions, scandals, funerals. You measure life differently now. Commissioners don't chase criminals. They shape systems, policy changes, surveillance expansion, federal coordination, political strategy. Governors request your advice privately before major appointments. Your influence stretches farther than the streets ever did, and yet your actual world becomes smaller every year. Security details, controlled schedules, scripted public appearances. Nobody speaks honestly around you anymore. Not officers, not politicians, not reporters. You miss ordinary conversations more than expected. Sometimes you sit alone in the office after midnight staring at old academy photographs. Young recruits smiling proudly beside fresh uniforms, believing the badge means certainty, believing good and bad stay clearly separated. You know better now. The line blurs slowly, then permanently. Outside, patrol lights flash across rain-covered streets below. The city never truly sleeps. It only pauses between emergencies. Somewhere across town, a rookie officer answers a late-night dispatch call for the first time. Heart racing, hands shaking, still believing procedure protects people. He thinks the badge will make him stronger. He doesn't understand what it takes away yet. But eventually, he will.